Moving on, have you heard about Press Freedom Index?
Yes, sir.
Who releases it?
Sir, I'm unable to recall at the moment.
Okay, so what is your take on such indices like Press Freedom Index, which try to show India in a bad light? They try to malgain the image of India as a country. So what is your take on that? Is it like the parameters they are using, the criteria they are using? Do you agree with all that?
So they are released to set a discourse, which they definitely do. However, I would like to quote Honorable External Affairs Minister Mr. Jaishankar, who says that cherry pick certain aspects of India and try to use it in manners that further their discourses. So that way, that's how I look at it. So.
Okay. Leaving aside the index, what is your take on the general, there's a perception that press freedom is not there at present times, and it is, press is being strangled and so on. So what is your take on that? Is it so, or the times have changed, or is it is just a perception which is being built?
So the very fact that we're able to talk about press freedom not being there, I think reflects that there definitely is a constitutional proliferation of my own voice and the voice of others. However, there have been instances which I would call allegations, which have not been proven yet, that have led a lot of people to believe that there have been instances like that.
Can you name some incidences?
So the reporting around the Elgar case comes to mind, Elgar Parishad case comes to mind.
Okay. Tell me one thing, that India at present is not a permanent member of UNSC, right? But we are advocating that for many years. So let's say you have to take a case to UNSC and show that India needs to be a permanent member of UNSC. So you have like 30 seconds. What will be your points? What will be your arguments? So which you need to argue before UNSC that India should be a permanent member.
So firstly, India is the voice of the global south. It heralds it in all ways possible. Secondly, the large population that we have is, out of the 8 billion, we have 1.4 billion people in our country. The third would be our economic status and stature. The fourth would be our nuclear capabilities, which are better than a few P5 nations themselves. So those would be the 5 points and pivots that I would take to the UNSC.
Okay. My last question, coming back to India. So urban mobility is a burning issue. Prime Minister recently inaugurated metros and RRTS network. So government is thinking about using ropeways as a means of transportation. So do you agree that we should go for ropeways? Is it feasible for Indian cities?
So I think it is for certain topographical regions only, and they're well suited there. However, there is an imperative need to look at the livelihood security of the current transportation systems as well, as was recently reflected in the strikes going on in Jammu, even though they were related to railways, but there have been similar strikes on ropeways in Vaishno Devi, Katra, etc. So keeping that aspect in mind, transit-oriented development is very important when it comes to such diversification.